Welcome to Plot Twisted Spicy. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Shawn, and we're here to talk plot twists, questionable life choices,
and what happens when a story invites us to get in between the sheets.
We rate the spice,
judge the twists,
and ask the most important question.
Was it worth the chaos?
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Shawn.
How's it going?
Good, you?
Good. I've been really busy. I was in Kitchener yesterday. I did one of those, guess where trips. Have you heard of those?
Oh, yeah. I see those on, Instagram ads all the time.
Yeah, so you can pick where you're leaving from, and then they send you basically a wrapped road trip, and you can make a day trip or, a weekend trip of them. Oh. And I went with my friend Elizabeth, and it should have been a weekend. There was so much to do. We drove all the way to Kitchener yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
And there was a full-on 18-wheeler that caught fire on the 401, so we were stuck on the highway for 3 hours when we should have been an hour and a half from my house. So we didn't have as much time to do everything, but it was really fun. I got some cherry crullers from this market that were so good.
That would be so delicious.
I love cherry baked goods. Anyway, they were phenomenal. And yeah, so we just had a whole day out with that, which was really fun. Yeah, what's up with you? What's new?
Nothing too crazy. Just work has been busy as all heck lately, and then
I heard the full moon affects these things.
Oh, yes, it does. And then I have a wedding to go to next weekend, so it's mostly just prepping for that, but
woo! There you go. Which by the time this airs, it'll have passed.
It will have passed. It'll have passed.
Whoops, I didn't say that.
But yes, I do have my friend's wedding that I'm going to this weekend, so just prepping for that. But other than that, pretty decent. But it feels like a lot is happening, but also nothing is happening all at the same time. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, that's how it feels.
I get that. It's it's all coming up, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's all the build-up.
Are you reading anything new right now?
Currently I'm just listening to our book club book.
Okay, I haven't started it.
Sea of Ruin. It's not bad.
Okay, so we're listening to or reading Sea of Ruin for our book club, but we meet at the end of the month, so I haven't even touched it yet.
Yeah.
So there is that. I am reading, I'm just starting a bunch of new books, so that's the issue. I'm at the beginnings of all of them. So the second book in Feathers So Vicious I started, or if it's called book 2 is Feathers So Vicious. And then I started a book about habits, a nonfiction book.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm starting, funny enough, I have it here. I'm starting Cassie Vincent's book, Shadows Within.
Yeah, I saw you post about it the other day, so it was just kind of oh, she's starting it.
I am starting it, but I read half of the first page, and then my husband was like, hey, do you want to watch this thing together? And I went, yes. And I put it down, and I was like, oh, man. So, yeah, so I'm starting a bunch of books, but they're all at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I'm usually finishing one partway through one, but they're all lining up.
That's gonna be a long haul then, because it's nice when you're at different stages of each book. But
yeah, you get them mixed up a little bit, honestly. But this week, before we get into our book review, I have a little something I'd like to read to you. Okay. I'm calling it Us versus Them.
Oh no.
So basically, I went on a few different reading apps, but I found 1-star reviews of 5-star books that
I love that.
we've read.
I'm ready.
Or I've read, or you've read.
Okay.
So I went into your GoodReads. And you need to start leaving reviews. This girl just stars and goes.
I've been doing more reviews now.
All right. Well, you haven't had any 5 stars recently, so.
No.
So, it's Us versus Them. So it's our 5-star and then their 1-star or less review.
Okay.
So the first one my 5-star review is Animal Farm. So I loved that book. And my review was left me stunned and sad for days, in brackets, in the right way. And their review at 1 star on GoodReads was, my favorite character got turned into glue.
Oh, no.
So that person wasn't happy. That was the only one for that. The next one I picked was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was my 5-star review.
Yeah.
And I wrote, the chaos of this is delightful. They wrote, this is one of the stupidest...
Oh, no.
This is one of the stupidest books that I have ever read. It was only slightly funny and not particularly clever in its concept.
Oh, my God.
Big disappointment. If you haven't read it, don't waste your time. I really liked it.
Oh, my God.
The next book I picked was Pestilence, which I can't remember if you ranked 5 stars. I did. So
I remember really enjoying it. I can't remember if it was a 4 or a 5 for me.
So I wrote the banter, the truth, the love. Excellent. I saved 3 1-star reviews. So the first one is, this book is an interesting exploration of how much downright evil romance readers will accept from a hero before deciding he's unredeemable.
Oh my God.
The next one is, what is the plot even? Question marks. There's no fucking plot and romance is fucking dead. I'm so done with this book. Thank you. Next.
Oh, no.
And the final one for poor baby Pestilence. Cannot rate higher than a 0.2 when the MMC is a genocidal maniac. I'm sure this is someone else's cup of tea. Please stay away from me.
Okay, I will.
I really liked Pestilence and I rated it 5 stars and I was so sad.
I really enjoyed that one.
I don't think you rated it 5 stars because I went through your Goodreads.
Yeah.
And you didn't rate this one 5 stars, but I did, but you read it. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping.
Oh, I started it. I haven't finished it.
So I wrote sweet and simple with recipes you want to try. Them. The ending was a complete crash out. What the fuck? Because I'm never getting that time back. I would have liked to like this book, but I just didn't care about anything. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about the magic. I didn't care about the villain. Everything was just kind of was. Also, the main couple barely interacted for the first half of the book, and then suddenly we're almost fucking in a library? I have to give it 1 star, and honestly, I should have DNF'd, but I have prevailed since it was so short.
Jeez.
People like to be angry, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Legends and Lattes, which I highly recommend you read, regardless of what these other people think. My review was cozy and fabulous. I never thought I could be enraptured by the description of a building being rebuilt over the course of weeks to months, and yet this author has made the time fly by within its pages. This person said, if this is the future of fantasy, then count me out. The second person said, the target demographic for this book is people who have never read a book, but have spent their lives in coffee shops watching other people read books and wondering what it might be like to read a book themselves. I am not that target demographic.
'Tis not I.
The last person said, if I hear the term cozy fantasy again, I'm shooting myself in the eye.
No. Oh my God.
Should have made you read these. Tourist Season. You read it. I read it. I don't know if you rated it 5 stars. I couldn't find it on your list.
I don't think I actually ended up rating it because when I finished it, I had a hard time reading that book because I think I was reading it in the middle of an internal slump. And so I was having a hard time getting through it, but I loved the book, and it's everything I love in a book, but for some reason that time when I was reading
Sometimes the mood outranks the book.
Yeah, and I was but I need to finish it because this is a book that I love. I want to reread it in a better mood.
Rereads are valid, especially with that. I wrote Murderous Obsession or True Love. Honestly, who am I to judge? I'm here for it regardless. That was my review.
Yeah.
I have 2 reviews by them. This is by far the worst book I've ever read in my entire life. The author should be in prison for crimes committed against the English language and humanity itself. The pitiful attempt at writing the barest hint of contrived plotline only makes the poorly written sex scenes more offensive to read. God will not look kindly on the author when judgment comes calling.
Oh my. We got a little religious there.
People I just love that people take the time to write these for my amusement. And then someone just wrote, I do not have time for this, and I do not have time for you. You know what? Valid.
That's fair. That's a little simpler and nicer, I guess.
Scream for Me. So I rated Scream for Me 5 stars.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's a great
I wrote,
book.
I'm shocked and delighted. That was my whole review. They wrote,
Oh no.
you know when something is so bad it's good? This was not that. That's the whole review.
This is not that.
The second one is not as funny, but trauma. What the actual hell did I just read? I just realized monsters aren't my thing.
You know what? Monster romance isn't for everybody.
Yeah, it should be, but it's not. It's so sad for them. And then, I've never read this, but you rated Firestarter 5 stars.
Stephen King.
By
Yes.
Stephen King.
Yes, yes.
And the first person wrote, Stephen King is a terrible writer. That's their whole review. And then the second one is, I wouldn't waste my time. King is more interested in broadcasting his political opinions. If that works for you, knock yourself out.
Jesus.
So I don't know what that is. And then, you know what's crazy? You rated Twilight 5 stars.
When I read it back then, yeah. I loved it back then. I was obsessed with Twilight in high school.
You had GoodReads since high school?
No, I added it on, when I did my GoodReads, I went back to like stuff that I've read previously.
Oh, and then you added the star rating you gave it was what you would have then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not what I would rate it now.
Because I think I put Twilight on my read, but I don't think I even put a rating on it because I don't remember how I felt about it back then.
Oh, no.
I think I hated it though, to be honest.
No, I was obsessed.
I read the entire book series in a weekend and wanted to kill Bella. I remember that strongly.
Oh, no. I reread the series a couple times.
You rated it 5 stars, and they said, staring at a wall for an hour would be more interesting than reading this book.
You know what? Valid.
I would not even wipe my ass with this book for fear that my ass would get shittier. What a waste of trees and my time. Kill me for reading this book. And that's my segment on us versus them.
I like it. That's a good one. I like it a lot.
I think in the future I would try to pick books that you rated 5 stars, but have you read the reviews, like going in blind.
Yeah.
I've cherry picked for you.
Read each other. Yeah, I think that would be a good one.
I just think that's great. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening to that segment of Us versus Them. I really wish I had a jingle for you, but I don't.
I like Us versus Them. I like that one.
I made stickers for my journal.
Oh my god.
So that I could answer the questions without having to continuously flip back.
Oh yeah, no, I just bought another book and then I wrote the questions in the book.
But you have a book.
But I put my notes in as I'm reading. These are all my notes as I'm reading.
Oh, damn.
So the way I do it is I read the book and I have our reading journal open. And then I know you do that. I had a Kindle.
I write them in the book.
She is the queen of annotation. I've never annotated a book.
Queen.
But when it comes to our podcast books, I take our reading journal, I leave it open, and
that's so smart.
And then if I have a thought or if there's a quote, I write it down.
I love that. I don't do that at all. That's
that's
smart.
why I have to do.
That's like your after.
Yeah, this is my after, because then after I'm done reading, I look through my notes and
I'm even more glad I got you a journal.
Yeah.
You needed multiple.
I am, honestly, I could do a whole journal ecosystem. I'm such a journal girl.
I made my annotation guide on this picture, which I can't share with the crowd. It's not PG.
I like it.
Quick reminder, this book was... Should I just reread the back, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Marine biologist Dr. Margaid Davis has something to prove, and she's come to Harmony Glen to show her boss she can handle the big research project and the idea of spending a summer, which, by the way, it's a year, but fine. A summer in a lakeside town full of monsters sounds like an exciting opportunity. Until she meets Finn, a glashtyn, the dark cloud to her sunny personality. Since he's the only boat for hire, she has no choice but to work with him. What she didn't count on was being so attracted to this grumpy glashtyn who makes his living on sport fishing, something she detests. But who says love is fair? Finn prefers to keep to himself since his father died, something he blames himself for. He works the family business to provide for his mother and his little sister. He's not keen on Margaid He's not keen Margaid is in town to track the fish population. Although he cares about the lake, he's worried she'll shut down his whole operation. In spite of their clashing, he's drawn to her and something deep inside calls for him to make her his. The problem is her project has a time limit, and she's made it clear that when it's over, she's moving on. Finn has to not flounder around. Can he reel Margaid's heart in, or will she be the catch that got away? So...
And the book is Time to Stirrup Love by A.C. Ruttan.
Yes, and it is like 120 pages.
Yeah.
In the Harmony Glen universe. In case that matters for our future reads.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So, I thought it was cute as like like very hallmarky. It really reminded me of the Dream Harbor series and stuff like that, but monsters.
Yep.
I will say, so I liked it as like a cutesy palette cleanser.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I will say is that the communication kind of bothered me, just because they kept having the internal monologue of how much they liked each other, but didn't admit anything until like almost 60% through the book.
It felt like further.
It was so...
It was like page like 100, it felt like.
Yeah, it was. So at 55%, I said, I wish they would admit how they feel already. And then at 78%, it's like, they finally kiss.
Brutal.
And so it was somewhere in between that. They were like, I like you. I kind of like you too. Come over for dinner.
Yeah. What's your overall rating?
So I actually have this as a 7.5. Sorry, what am I saying?
Wow.
No, a 3.75.
A 3.75.
Because I did enjoy it, but so for my rating system, hold on, I will.
Oh, she made one.
I have a rating system. I still need to put it into this book, but I have one that I'm actually going by now.
Okay.
Which, look at me go.
I'm so proud of you.
So the 3.5 is not bad, has cute moments, not bad, but wouldn't necessarily recommend to people. And then 4 is I love the book. And so I have it as 3.75 because I did enjoy the book and I would recommend it to certain people.
Mm-hmm. It fits a very specific kind of niche.
Yes. So I would recommend this book to people who like the Dream Harbor series but want to have a little twist, or if people like the Morning Glory, like Milking Farm, or I can't remember what the series is actually called, but
I can't either, but I know what you mean.
But like that kind of niche, if somebody's into monster romance but wants something a little bit more cutesy, I would recommend it to them. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to everybody. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's kind of what I did with that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Did you give it a pepper rating at all?
I did. So my pepper rating is, I did 2. I did do a 2 for pepper rating because so I have my 2 as few spicy scenes, very vanilla, 1 to 2 scenes, not a lot of detail.
Okay.
And they only had, because before that, it's really more so like tension, fade to black, build up, and all that kind of stuff for my previous one. So I just have it as a 2.
Okay.
Because that fits the criteria for my stuff. What about you?
I rated the book 3.5 stars. Sure. On my star list, that comes as, I liked it for the most part, but something felt off or clunky.
Fair.
And when I was reading this book, I did like it. I thought they were really cute.
Yeah.
But I felt like, I think we were including too much.
Yes.
For how short it was. I think that everything that was included is great. I just felt like you were including too much for how short the book was.
Yes.
Because we kind of introduced 2 additional love stories.
I know, and I have thoughts about that.
And I got really excited because I thought when they were talking about the female glashtyn, I thought she might be one.
Well, that's okay. So when they kept talking about how her name means pearl in that language, and she didn't know who her father was, I thought we were going to find out that she was part that, and then it just didn't go anywhere.
And then the full moon, they're like super fertile, so I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to get together on a full moon and there's going to be a pregnancy trope in this thing? Like, and what?
That's kind of thought what was going to happen too, but it just kind of didn't go anywhere, so I wonder if they set it up for that, and then they just didn't go around to stick with that because they needed it under a certain amount to be a novella.
I think they set it up for his sister.
Well,
but I just don't like that they took this book to create setup for the next book, because they're supposed to be interconnected standalones.
Yeah.
And to take, in such a short book, to take that time and detail for something that's not involved between the 2 main characters was confusing.
Yeah. And that's so I did notice that they set up basically like two different love stories along with this main love story, and they did focus a lot on the sister, which I like. I found it I found the sister stuff to be very interesting, and like the way she's a glashtyn and how she's the full moon and like Phineas and stuff like that. Which, okay, I'm gonna point this out because I wrote this in the book. Margaid means pearl. The main guy character is Finbar, but they call him Finn. The sister, Pearl. And her love interest is Phineas, who is also Finn. So we have two Pearls and two Finns in this book.
Yep.
So I don't know if you were like, what the heck with that too?
I didn't clock it, but I was annoyed that I actually didn't like that her name meant Pearl and his sister's name was Pearl.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I saw that was like something that I saw, and I was just kind of like, this is a little too close for me.
Yeah, like why wasn't his like name Gilius? And you call him Gil.
There you go, Gilius, much better. But yeah, that was something that I did notice. But I will say I do want to read the Pearl and Phineas stuff.
I want to point. Okay, a 3.5 is not bad for me.
No,
I want to read this entire series. Yeah. I like it for a palate cleanser. I would recommend it to people who enjoy Hallmark but would want to try something with a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
It's a great palate cleanser book. It made me have good feelings. It was cozy and happy, and I liked that about it.
And that's the thing. It's not like, it's just a nice, cute book. It's not a bad book or anything like that.
It's
nice.
Very, very, very good. The issue I have with it is that the author, who has skill, is just slamming too much into it. Like, make it a longer book, or...
I wonder if there was, like, an expectation to try to set up for the other stories while writing this book. And I haven't... Have you read any of the other books in the Glen?
This was my first AC Ruttan, and... I'll get that later.
Because one of the notes that I kind of made was... I'm curious on how all the other books differ with different authors and whether the setups are kind of the same where they have to try to set up for the other love interests.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see how they all do it. And I don't know if the authors all got together with the plan for it or what, or if they just all agreed like this was all happening in the same town and shared a map. Which, by the way, I would love a giant map of Harmony Glen.
Yeah.
I wrote that the overall vibe and feeling was a sweet story that sort of jumped around quite a bit. I really loved the personality of the FMC. I was hoping she was secretly a monster since she had no idea who her dad was. I did really like her. The thing I liked about her was, you're right that they didn't have great communication, but when she got flustered, she like burst out with her questions.
Yeah, she had no problem asking.
That felt really real to me because like when you're insecure, you either bottle it up or you just like do it in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And when she's asking him, or she like says like she thinks she wants to stay and he like leaves, I was like, no, you can't leave. This is a vulnerable moment for her.
Yeah.
Like, so I also thought that the love when he like confesses his love or whatever, I loved it, but I thought it was so rushed.
Yeah. That, and again, that's the whole thing of having the multiple other like scenarios in there too, that like their love did feel kind of rushed because it was, like I said, at 78% they finally kissed and then they rushed into like having sex and all that kind of stuff, which is fine because sometimes that just happens if it's been building up for so long. But also like there's only so much of the book left, and because it's a novella, 78% of 100% is still like there's so little left. It's like 5-10 pages. Like, it's not hard. So I kind of wish we had more of like them working it out and building up. I want
more. Yeah. I just wish I got more of it.
And I think that's fair. Like if they added more pages to this one, because that's the thing, if it's under 200 pages, it's still a novella. And it was all like at the end of the day, it wasn't even 124 pages. It was like 118, 119. And so they could have added more to it in order to like build up that relationship more.
I think so. I think, again, I really liked it. I think it has so much potential, which is why I'll definitely be reading the other ones.
Yeah, I want to read the other ones because like I said, I thought it was very cutesy, and it has the elements that I like in kind of like the cinnamon roll monster romance. And like I said, I'm just kind of curious about like what the other authors do too, just because I haven't read a series like this where it's multiple authors
in one universe.
And I'm curious how the writing style changes, if the characters themselves change from book to book, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm very curious, and I do want to read the rest
I
of
am
it.
fairly certain that genie book is in this because they
Yeah.
bring up the genies like going down the street
Yeah,
in one of the, like as a passing, which I liked.
I was trying to think about books that you bought and like seeing if like the characters or the descriptors like came up throughout the
and
story.
I think 2 or 3 of them do.
Yeah.
Of just like that weren't like like by other authors.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very cool because like these authors all have to work in conjunction to make them all be in the same universe, even just in passing. And you have to remember like who runs the bakery, who owns this spot. Like I love it. This is why I want a giant map of Harmony Glen, and then I want to re-meet these authors and have them sign all the spots these monsters live. Yeah, I want it.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I want a map with like a fill-in sticker for each character. So I can stick them on their little spot. I have ideas. I'm going to talk to these authors. Before we move on to quotes, any other comments, quandaries, things you'd like to bring up about the book that you'd like to touch on?
My overall vibe was I really enjoyed this Hallmark monster palette cleanser, and because it's a what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Yeah. I would say I enjoy this palette cleanser like I would the Dream Harbor series. I will it took I
don't know. Keep moving.
don't know. But like I said, it did take a little bit of time in order to get to the relationship part and try to figure out where we were going from there.
Yeah, I kind of wish they got together sooner.
Yeah. And I was like, that was really like my only real complaint
I agree.
in there. And then, yeah, that's all I have for the overall vibes. Okay. But like I said, it was the communicate part because you could see it that they were like really pining for each other. But then they were like,
yeah,
they probably don't like me. I was like, please tell them.
use your words.
Please do it because I promise it'll work out, my friend.
Yeah, I know it will work out. Do you have any favorite scenes or cringe scenes that you hated, liked or loved? Like, you know what I mean?
So for scenes, it was for cringe scenes, I did have a little bit of an annoyance with this. Not annoyance, but like every time Finn brought up about being like a sad hoe, because he kept talking about how he was being used and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, like I do appreciate. It was one of those things. Was like when he was first talking about it, I was like, oh, that's sad, and I can totally see where it came from. But I felt like it just kind of brought up a little too much for me. So it wasn't necessarily cringe. It was just more so me being nitpicky and being like,
you don't need to. That's not your whole personality.
We didn't do that. And then when he was like, oh, I didn't think of that when she was confessing about like wanting to stay and stuff like that. I was like, what do you mean you didn't think of that?
Yeah, that felt like he was lying. Of course he thought of that.
But he was just like, oh, I didn't think of that. And she felt so defeated. And I was like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like that she like confesses that she wants to stay and he just like leaves immediately.
Yeah, and
like
that was my thing. It was like, oh, I didn't think of that, and then just kind of left it, and she's just kind of sitting there like, oh, okay.
Yeah. What does he run away for too? Because it's not when his sister's gone.
Is that when? Oh,
they're at the coffee shop together.
It's because the mom closed the shop because some Sven or Magnus needed a boat.
To borrow a boat.
And that's when the sister talks about she was going to go away to college.
But you don't know that. He doesn't know that. Yeah, they just come in and they're like, I need to rent a boat. And he's like, oh, I got to deal with this. I'm sorry, but the woman you quote unquote want to be with just told you she's thinking about staying. You turn to that guy and you're like, I'll be out in a minute.
Give me a sec here.
And then you turn around and you go, I really want to talk about this. Don't change that thought. Like, give her a big smooch.
That was my worst cringe scene in the book because I was like,
Yeah, I think that's valid. There were a lot of really good scenes that I really liked. I think when they were hiking up to the Devil's Bowl or whatever, Punch Bowl.
Devil's Punch Bowl. Yeah,
I really liked that.
I liked that. I like any time where they actually got to sit talk and connect and like talk about their life, I was just kind of like, oh, this is like a really nice moment. I just felt like the moments were slightly too short.
I completely agree.
So that's where I was just like, I love these scenes, but again, because they were so short, they had you craving more, and you're like, more is to come, kind of thing. And I think that's part of the reason for that. But also trying to be like, oh, here's because it would always be like a conflict or something that would interrupt.
Yeah.
So like,
every time too. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I didn't love that.
It was every single time, and I was just kind of like, girl, you guys keep getting interrupted. Why can't you guys have a moment?
Yeah, I agree. Did you have a top quote or quotes that you loved?
I didn't really have. So I didn't have a quote that really stuck out to me as a favorite, to be fair. I did love that they both said, "But Jesus."
A lot of Canadian slang in this book.
Yeah. But like it was, but they both said, like he said about the chickens, they scared the bejesus out of me, which I mean, the chickens crack me. The whole
I think that horses are spooked by chickens, right?
And so it took me a second to figure that out. I was just like, you're so afraid of chickens. I was like, oh, it must be like a farm horse thing for that to be like such a big deal. But like every time that came up, I did crack up every time. But like he was like, the chicken scared the bejesus out of me. And then when she was talking to him the night after, he basically tried to like stalk her to protect her on her way home, and she just like, who are you? But like she says the next, yeah,
that was funny.
That was pretty funny. But she tells him the next day, she's like, you scared the bejesus out of me. It's like, oh, she says it too.
Yeah, that's cute. Yep, I like that.
What, do you have a favorite quote in mind?
I wrote, there's a simple solution, Dunderhead. Talk to him. She calls herself a dunderhead and decides to go talk to him.
I like that.
That's page 106, by the way, guys. Like, rape. Like, there's not that much left. I have a bad one as well. Do you have a bad one?
It will fit, trust me.
Okay, yeah.
And then the other one was kind of part of the sex scene too, but it turns out I don't like the word penis in sex scenes.
Okay.
So
we gotta go back to our
we have to go back because
episode.
He was just kind of like, she blah blah over the tip of my penis. I was like, I would have preferred cock.
Now you know. It has to happen.
I was like, oh, so clearly I haven't seen that word too much, because I don't know, it wasn't even like an ick or a cringe, but I was like, maybe I don't like that.
It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. But like, I'm kind of over the whole like, oh my goodness, he was so big, and then it was just like,
it'll fit. I can feel him, like, yeah.
Yeah, but like
I will say with monster romances, it would be a little strange if they weren't.
Yeah.
Large.
But yeah, his exact line was, it'll fit, trust me, do you trust me? And I was like,
yeah, I didn't like that either. It was like,
I was like, no.
Yeah, they could have just said like there could have been innuendo, like notching at the eggs, and she looks nervous and he goes, do you trust me? And she goes, yeah. And then works. Like, you didn't need to have the it'll fit.
Yeah.
That could have all been done through like looks and stresses and whatever. Mine is rated R, so for ears listening. Her tight pussy wrapped around him, milking him. Didn't love that one.
We know how I feel about milking, so I just fully was like, bye.
And then I have some honorable mentions.
I love an honorable mention. Do it.
Women wanting to cut out the middleman and ride the horse instead of the cowboy.
Like I said, that was, again, the worst cringe scenes anytime Finn bringing up how he was a sad used up hoe.
These are just my puns. Grab a hold of that juicy double as he pumped into her. That one there. Why the long face? Really a horse joke? There were so many puns in this book.
I did like the puns.
He galloped down the trail back to his truck. He's running, guys. He's in humanoid form. You okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. This is when she's talking to a ghost.
Yeah.
I've got two more.
I do like her puns, I will say.
She was never one to look a gift horse in the mouth. That's when he's asking to have sex with her, and she asks to go again. Where's the lube? And then at the end of the book, oh, you'd like to go for a ride? Yeah, I'd like to do a little bareback. So these are honorable mentions because hot dog AC Ruttan, you know how to fit a pun in. Like, my God, every one of them, I actually, regardless of what was going on, it was awesome. I was like, yeah, nice.
Just a good little giggle here
So
and there.
I had to give you those honorable mentions. They're pretty funny. Especially the juicy double. I was like, as if we're referencing a song. That's amazing. Do you have a favorite character?
So what I have for favorite characters, it's just because I want to read their story. I love Phineas.
I wrote Phineas.
Phineas is my so I love. I am obsessed with Phineas, and I love Pearl just because
He
of
crochets penises.
well, so they referenced The Last Unicorn, and I loved that movie.
Yeah.
And so like them creating a character out of that, I was like, oh, I automatically love you already. But
Yeah.
like Phineas, it like.
I put hearts around his name and I wrote the cuteness golden retriever. What else is an orphan swamp monster to do?
Yeah.
He's so sarcastic and adorable.
Yeah. And he's very much no bullshit but like he is cute about his no bullshit and I love it.
Yeah.
And
He's like alone with Margaid and she's talking. He's like, do you have to leave? Like he's just like so sweet. And he calls Finn out immediately. He's like, so you have like steam coming out of your nose?
that part cracked me up and then he was like, oh, there's actual steam there.
That was so funny. Any scene that had Phineas, I really enjoyed. And what was so shocking is that like in the two scenes where like you clearly know he's in love with Pearl and has like longing, I felt that more than half of the build up for the main story.
And that's why it says right here for favorite character Phineas and Pearl, I would read their book in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that they do have one. I don't know if it's out yet. We'll have to look it up.
If it's not out yet, it's on the way because like there's no way they're gonna like.
We may have to make a road trip out to the Pages and Pleasures in Ottawa because that's the next one they're gonna be at.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So, go pick up the rest of our novellas.
Time to go.
But yeah,
rest of the series.
And then I don't know. I did genuinely enjoy the book.
Yeah.
I liked the science as well.
I thought it was neat. My big thing is just kind of like she does like fish and wildlife and everything like that, but doesn't have her boating license.
I thought that too. I was like, really?
It's
yeah.
I was like, why doesn't she have a boating license with her job?
I think I wrote that in my
because it was like I have to have somebody with a boating license. I was like, why not you? Generally, that's the thing. Like, I know people like in our area that does this for a living that live out here, and they are like they're fishing fanatics. Like they have their boating license. They have their own boat.
And even if you're not into
sports
fishing, why don't you have a boating license? Like they're very simple to get. This is based in it's Harmony Glen, but the author's Canadian. Like they know these things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, maybe she had issue with it. Way to go, Margaid. Maybe after this, she'll have one.
Well, I guess they had to get together, meet and work
that
together
is
somehow.
True.
So I get that, but I'm also like, there's a flaw here. This person would have their boating license.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a hole in the plot, I think. But like, it worked for the story. Like, I get why the author had to do something.
100%. And again, it wasn't anything I was mad at, but it was just like a note where I was like, why?
we know why. Why?
You know.
I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely read more in the series.
100%.
I think something the author could have done with so much buildup is one or the other character could have had some kind of sexual fantasy earlier in the story.
Yes.
To like add a little bit more spice.
Yeah, I thought that there was going to be like a scene where like she's at home and thinking about him and then
or he's not at home and thinking about her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, and they're like by themselves and they're thinking about what the other would do to each other and pleasure themselves. Like that kind of thing. I thought something like that was going to happen, but it didn't. And it's like not a big deal, but just.
No, it's not a big deal. It's just, I guess I'm biased in the realm of monster romances because I'm used to most of the ones I've already read being very open door.
Yes.
And this is my like cutest one since Morning Glory Milking Farm.
Yes.
And even that book had like them jacking off the bulls in between. So
and there was like dream fantasies and stuff like that
there
too.
was.
Because I remember when we were reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, I was just kind of like, wait, no, this isn't actually happening. And it's like, no, she's imagining that. So there was even more of that. But again, like if you want something like that's nice and cutesy and hallmarky, this is
great.
This is
a good book. It's a great choice.
It's a great book.
Like, these books are forever going to be excellent palate cleansers for me personally.
Yeah. I think we should read the rest of the series at some point.
I completely agree. I think we're going to have to pull them up and see like if they go in any particular order.
Yeah.
because like the end of like this set up their romance, which you don't need to read them like that, but if you're gonna read them anyway, it might as well be in order.
Just do it.
Like it may as well be, which I'm sure on their websites they have them like listed as like which order to read them in.
Yeah, be that or GoodReads or something like that.
Yeah. I think Carla Doyle, who's one of the authors in the Harmony Glen group, I think she has them all like listed in order.
Perfect.
But yeah. Any closing remarks, my dear? Everyone should read monster romances.
Everyone should read monster romances. Even if you don't think that you should, this would be a good one to start out with, though.
Absolutely. This would be a perfect starting.
If you are wanting to begin in monster romances, do this series because this is very beginner friendly.
Yeah, if you want to dip your toes or fins in the water, definitely check out the Harmony Glen series because they're adorable. Yeah. So now that we have closed off on Time to Stir Up Love, we are definitely going to revisit the local authors pile. But the other day, there was a Stuff Your Kindle Day.
Exciting!
And they had a section for books that were under 100 pages. So we have some goodies in there. But it's my week to pick, so I went through, and with Tyler's blessing, yes. With Tyler's blessing, I've chosen our next book, which I'm picking of Power and Pomegranates. It's a steamy Hades and Persephone retelling, and it is only like 84 pages. When a book is that short, I'm always very intrigued with how they fit anything into it. And the book description is: beneath the blossoms lie the shadow and the man who would claim her. Persephone is the cherished daughter of the goddess Demeter, bringer of spring, adored and sheltered in equal measure. But beauty and bloom are not enough. She longs for more, that endless cycle of seed to flower. She longs to be desired. Hades, lord of the underworld, Hades, lord of the underworld, has watched her from afar, drawn to her light and maddened by his own restraint. When he hears her whisper her longing to the wind, he answers, pulling her into a world of silver-lit halls, pomegranate orchards, and a slow seduction that binds far more than her body. 84 pages, and it's described as a slow seduction, guys. So,
dang.
What begins as a dangerous game of power and temptation becomes a love that defies Olympus itself. But their passion comes with 6 seeds and a war of wills. This is described as a steamy, lush, and darkly romantic Of Power and Pomegranates is the first novella in the Cleo Calloway's Mythic Passion series, an epic of gods and mortals. I'm in. I'm so in. I love mythology and like twists on it. So I'm very excited. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm super excited about this one. I love mythology, but I've never read a spicy mythology before.
Good. Wait, no, did you not read the Katie Roberts ones?
Which ones?
Oh, you didn't read those? We'll have to talk about it.
The gods one?
Yeah.
There was a gods one?
Yeah, there's a Persephone Hades one.
Nope.
We'll find it. I'll find it. I also want to just let you know we're still in the 3s. This is a 3.91 on GoodReads. We haven't left the 3s this time.
We're never leaving.
So anyway, we'll get back to you guys on this book in 2 episodes, I guess, because we'll do another little filler mini-sode. But you have a great day and pick up Of Power and Pomegranates on Kindle Unlimited or wherever you read your books.
Hope you guys enjoy.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's today's episode of Plot Twisted Spicy,
where a short book once again caused long conversations.
If you love this novella,
or if you're still processing what just happened between the sheets,
make sure you follow, rate, and leave us a review.
Because your validation fuels our chaos.
We'll be back with another fast read.
And absolutely unhinged opinions. 1, 2, 3.
Until next time, stay spicy.